Hi, beautiful souls. It's Sadhana. Welcome to my channel. And today I'm hoping will be a short video. I wanted to share with you the White Sage Tarot in a tin and just have a look at the differences between the original version and the new US Games version that has come out. And just so you know, I am pleasantly surprised. This has made a world of difference, and in a very short period of time, we have quite an improved deck. For those of you that haven't seen either, I do have a full walkthrough of the version on the left on my channel, and I will link that in the description box below. So the original version came with quite a nice bundle, lots of goodies from the creator Teresa Hutch. It came in a it comes in a two-part paper box, and very easily comes apart. So you would need to somehow probably put this into a bag, or I don't put elastic bands around my boxes, but this would easily come apart if you had this in a purse or something, just so you know that. Which is the opposite problem of most two-part boxes these days. The US Games version comes in a tin. It's the same size tin as all of their other tins, but ever so slightly, no, it is the same size. It's exactly the same size as the other US Games tins. Okay. So paper box, cardboard box, tin box. The new guidebook I will put to the side. So you can see that the backs are exactly the same. And the color differentiation is subtle, but there is a difference in color. So the backs of the cards, the original cards, are quite a bit whiter, and you get a little more of a gray tinge with the new deck. Paper quality, I know, was an issue. A lot of people found the original cards to be quite thin. This deck is the same as all the US Games cardstock that comes in a tin. So ever so slightly thicker than the original deck. Then we have, let's have a look at the two guidebooks. The original deck came with this very thin little white book. The US Games book comes with a much more flushed out little white book. This one has a little bit of color in it. This one is all black and white. The original guidebook, I'll use my pointer instead of a finger, mini description about the deck, the intention for the deck, and then keywords for each of the chakras. It gave the color. There are ribbons on each of the cards, so these are color coded. So the root chakra ribbons are pink, and then we have an orangey color ribbon for the sacral chakra, yellow ribbon for the solar plexus, green for the anahat for the heart chakra, blue for the throat chakra, and purple for purple. Or we have I believe it's a rainbow ribbon for the Sahasrara chakra. Sorry, purple for the Agnya chakra, and the rainbow is for the Sahasrara chakra, the crown chakra. And then we go right into a very brief description for each of the minors. This is really, really the littlest of little white books. And then for the majors, this is all you get for the majors. To flush this out, Teresa also offered a PDF, which we'll have a look at in a second, to give you more information about each of the majors and each of the minors. But this is what came in the box, the original box. Okay. The US Games version is quite a bit thicker. It's a really substantial little white book, and it is all in English. There is the little bit of the bio at the back. Okay. And so right up until page 60, we have a description of of the cards. And there's a little bit at the front, you know, smudging and things like that, welcoming your deck, but very, very, very basic. So we're going to have a look at the difference between the two guidebooks. And I have to say, this guidebook has been edited, so the typos are corrected as well. We have more information about some of the symbols that were very unclear when the deck first came out. So for example, she has explained some of the Egyptian symbols and why she chose the animals that she did for each of the minor suits. So we'll take a look at that as well too. Let's get to the cards. And I just wanted to let you know that when I am reading from the Little White Book, I'm referring to the revised Little White Book that comes with the new US Games deck. And when we get to the end, I will show you the PDF that you could print yourself that came with the original deck. First of all, you will notice that because the deck is smaller, it does appear that these large white borders are a little more in balance. So you'll see there's a little bit less white space below the font. Here there was quite a bit of white space. So it looks like it's the same amount above the number, but there is less white space on the smaller deck, which is amazing because I have no idea why they decided to print this with so much white space. You'll also notice too that the font is the same, but the color is different. So this is more of a black color as opposed to a silver lettering. So much easier to read in the new smaller deck. This may also be due to the fact that it is smaller, but for many of the cards, the saturation is increased in the smaller card. When I look at the larger card, however, I see, we'll also need to look and see if anything's been cut off. But on the larger card, I do see more of a black cloud up here, and the storm is important to the story of the Fool card because he's walking, you know, straight on into the storm without even thinking about it. And then we can look at the large card has the copyright Teresa Hutch on the drawings, and then the US Games deck, if there is a copyright, yeah, it's on the back. So we've got the copyright on the back, US Games, here and here, printed twice, which makes the card reversible, I suppose, because then you don't just have the copyright on one side. In the guidebook, she does let us know that the dog is based on her dog. The Fool is based on my golden doodle named Mauer, a light-hearted soul. And I was mentioning the storm. The storm is off in the distance, but this doesn't slow him down. He is always an advocate for diving in headfirst with the innocence of a child. There are no changes to the deck, just a different printing, slight color variations, but for the most part, exactly the same. I won't speak to the Magician card because it is the same in both. The High Priestess, she says, this card has a very, very short description. Some of the descriptions in the guidebook are done better than others, and this is one of the ones that is pretty darn brief. The High Priestess is like any cool cat on top of the world with a quiet sense of control. You can't help but feel drawn to her. She is calm, cool, and collected. She lives a life above everyday drama. This cat is based on my cat, Udi, who runs our household. So very little reference to the Rider-Waite-Smith interpretation of the High Priestess, which doesn't mean that you can't go there. And then we have the Empress. I love the crystal ball above her nose. It's really, really beautiful. In the new guidebook, there is reference to most of the animals, so you know why she chose them. I'm pausing here at the Hierophant because I know this was a question, and it is briefly answered in the guidebook. It is a deer, by the way. I know someone had thought maybe it's a baby cow. It says the This deer knows how to be a deer. Although she is vulnerable, she is confident yet relaxed. So why this was chosen for the Hierophant isn't really answered in the guidebook. The seahorses are not addressed. And then let's go to the Chariot. Yin-yang horses are charging forward toward a goal. I don't think there was any concern or question about the choice of horses for that card. All right, and then the Sloth. I know a lot of people really liked the Sloth. Here's what she has to say about that. With a smile on his face and a glimmer in his eyes, this sloth doesn't have a care in the world. He knows everything gets done in his own sweet time. Just because he is alone doesn't mean he is lonely. This sloth reminds you to stop pushing your way through your life. Just stop and enjoy the view. So again, many of the messages in the guidebook are not based on Rider-Waite-Smith. Even though the images and the keywords are, you have a choice to either kind of go with what is in the guidebook or, you know, what you already know about the many different levels of reading the Hermit card. It's really nice that the Hermit does have the star here. So instead of the lantern, there's a star tucked in his jacket. Also, as with the minor cards, there is a chakra association with each of the major cards. And as far as I can tell, there is no clue on the major arcana what the chakra association is. So for example, the Hermit card, the chakra association is Vishuddhi, so light blue. So there's nothing referring here to the to that. And fortunately, in the guidebook, she does refer to the Egyptian symbols because, again, I know there was question about that. So here we go for the Egyptian symbol. The Wheel of Fortune floats above Anubis's head without any gravitational pull or tension to slow it down. The wheel is a mandala, a symbol of psychic wholeness and balance. Understand that life isn't linear, but rather runs in cycles, helps change your expectations. Anubis is a symbol of transformation that is beyond your control. Brief, but at least now we have some information. And as suspected, this is a representation of the entrance to the underworld, where you weigh your heart against the ostrich feather. So that is what that is. And then this is really interesting. This is something I didn't know about the caterpillar, and she refers to the J shape here of the caterpillar. When a monarch caterpillar hatches, it frantically eats and grows, then crawls up to a leaf and turns into a J shape. When this happens, it completely freezes and waits for transformation. You too can benefit from stillness. I had that was something I didn't know about that shape. Okay. And then I'm just, instead of going through all of these, I'm just going to pick a few that I know were a concern. All right, let's go to the Moon card. Some of us suspected that this was actually the sun god, Ra. But in the guidebook now, she has clarified this. Khonsu, Khonsu, the god of the moon and time, was also revered as a god of healing. The moon is balanced and mysterious. Don't be afraid of the dark. Yin energy can draw out your creative spirit. Pay attention, pay special attention to your dreams. The moon card can indicate it's a good time to do some shadow work. So that's really nice that that question got answered. All right, and then the Judgment card. So this was a card, I saw a lot of your videos. Some people love this, some people didn't like this at all. And so addressing the light bulb, she says this is an interrogation light or an aha moment. And simply just to focus on the white light. So there was no further clarification about the light bulb. Focus on the light. Move towards your truth, move towards the divine energy. And this, I think, is one of the most brilliant cards in the deck. So again, let's have a look at the color. This one is a little pinker over here. This one looks a little more muted. Then we go to Wands. And I will show you a few of the cards in each of the suits. So for Wands, we have Pussy Willows. And from my observation, the color changes are they're barely noticeable between the two decks. In the new version of the guidebook, we learned that Teresa received Pussy Willows for Valentine's Day. They reminded her of the wands in a tarot deck, and so she decided that she was going to use them. The Ace of Wands was the creative spark needed to bring the White Sage Tarot to life. And then, so we have the Pussy Willows. Slightly different color here. So this is a very light green. This is a much darker green for the ribbon. And I won't go through all the cards. Let's just skip ahead. There's the Eight of Wands. It looks very Marseille-like. The oranges look very similar. And then we'll go to the birds. So in the new guidebook, she does explain that the birds, the court cards for the wands, are raptors. And why raptors? Birds of prey have a clear understanding of working with sticks. Do not all birds have a clear understanding of working with sticks to build their nests? So, yeah, so that doesn't really answer my question why she chose birds, but I guess that is justification enough. They have a precise kind of fire in their eyes when it comes to creation. Personally, I would have put birds with the swords and the cats with the wands, but perhaps with the Pussy Willows, the birds do fit. And I definitely can work with the birds here. So these are raptors, birds of prey. The headdress for the knight looks very green as opposed to this gray one here. So sometimes I actually prefer the color in the smaller deck. Sometimes the color is more brilliant in the larger deck. So I can't really say one way or the other. Notice the queen has 2 stages of the moon here. I'm not sure I noticed that before. And then we have the king. All right, the suit of cups are the lattes. What did you think about that? Do you like lattes for the suit of cups? And I'll tell you why, because we have now in the new guidebook, we know why the lattes were selected. The coffee cups in this deck are based on my wedding registry cups, which hold sentimental value. The latte is a reminder of the heart-pounding sweetness of an espresso blended with care. Keep your heart open to a new emotional connection. I thought this was a leaf pattern. I didn't really see a heart here, but now we know this latte has a heart pattern. And again, actually it is a different green. This is a darker, almost teal. Probably can't see on the camera, slight different. And there you have the 3 of Cups. And then let's skip ahead to the court cards for the water suit. Skipping through here, and as you probably know, we have otters. And I'll just read to you what Teresa has to say about the otters. The cup court is the perfect place for otters. It's hard not to have an emotional connection to their sweet faces. So we have the page with the sweet little, looks like a lotus on her head. The knight. The court cards actually look better in the bigger deck because you can see more of the animal. The blue is quite different in the background for the water too. The color is quite different. And then you have the King of Cups. His crown in the large deck has these blue jewels, look much a lighter blue. This is a very dark blue in the jewels. And out of curiosity, I'm just going to see if that is related to the throat chakra or not. King of Cups is throat chakra. So we do have, there may very well be some clues here. If you go back to the Queen of Cups, she has green on her crown, which is, yes, heart chakra. And if we go to the Knight, looks like he has hot chocolate. The Knight of Cups, we'll just see if there's a clue on him. Knight of Cups is, okay, so is there purple? No, there's no purple on him. And the little girl is orange, so no, there's no clue on her, and she has purple up here. So I was just wondering if there was a clue. Somewhere in the guidebook I did read that the crowns also show the association to the chakra. And then we have swords for swords. So that's pretty self-explanatory. And I don't need to go through that. So there you have your Ace of Swords, your Two of Swords. Same symbol that was above the otter for the moon. Right, and then we'll skip ahead to the courts for the swords, which I've already said are the cats. So here's your Page of Swords. And Page of Swords. The green, you would think, would refer to the heart chakra, so let's just see if that is correct. Page of Swords is heart chakra, so we do have, so on some of the cards there is a clue to the chakra. And then when we go to the Knight, there is no color clue. And then, okay, so the Queen has blue eyes, pink nose. This looks blue to me, or gray, these jewels up here. The Queen of Swords is throat. So maybe if you want to use her eyes as the clue, definitely this is not in clear enough focus to see the blue in the crown. And then the King. So his eyes are gold. His crown, it looks like there's no coloration in his crown. And the King of Swords is Muladhara chakra. So her color for Muladhara chakra is pink. So we don't have a clue there. And we have Pentacles for the final suit. Sorry, the light is streaming in. I had to discontinue recording this yesterday. Very, very beautiful choice Teresa made with the sand dollars. Sand dollars are super fragile, however. I don't know that you could actually put a ribbon through sand dollars, but artistically, I think this is a brilliant choice. It makes this deck so very unique, and I also love her choice for the animals for the suit of Pentacles. She says, I spent a year living on the coast of Japan near Kamakura, where the sand dollars would sometimes cover the beach. I was inspired by the way they are light and yet hold themselves down even in heavy winds. Many years ago, shells were also a form of currency. So yeah, I think these are just beautiful. I really enjoy the energy of this deck. There's a tremendous lightness to it. Usually Pentacles, the suit of Pentacles can be quite a heavy energy, also with the, the root energy and all of that. But this is a very different feel to this suit of Pentacles, and I like it. Our rootedness doesn't always have to be heavy. And somehow that appeals to my sense of balance. And it's probably something very personal, like wanting to be rooted yet graceful. And elephants. The elephants in these quartz are also just stunning. The pentacle cord is made up of elephants. Strong and stable elephants exude earthly elements. The pentacles represent both health and wealth. And then let's just double check the color clues for these. I know we didn't do it for all of them, but just because we're here. So the Page of Pentacles is violet. So no clue for her. She has this beautiful flower in her trunk, which is a sprig of trillium. I love trillium. A native perennial with detoxifying benefits. Native to where, she doesn't say. I live in the coast of British Columbia. I lived in the mountains of British Columbia, and it's very abundant here. It's beautiful. It grows wild. So she doesn't say what she means by native to where. Then the Knight. So he's pink. So I'm assuming he's Muladhara chakra. He moves very, very slowly, so it makes sense that he's root chakra. No, he's not. He is solar plexus. So why does he have a pink ribbon? I don't know. This is some of the things about this deck that confuse me. And then we have the Queen, which is lovely with her baby. And she does have green jewel in her crown. And so, yes, she is heart center. And then Papa is purple, which would make him third eye chakra. Well, he has purple here, and this is more blue, harder to see in the smaller deck. So King of Pentacles chakra is Muladhara. So again, the colors do not correspond with the chakra. In the new deck, you get 2 bonus cards. One has the chakras on it with a few keywords and a affirmation. It also has the seed sound, the Bij mantra for each of the chakras. On the right, doesn't have pronunciation, but that's okay. Lam, Vam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Aum. So that's kind of a useful reference, especially if you're not familiar with this, and that could really help, navigating your way through this deck and getting more familiar with it. And then on the right, she has a chakra spread. So you could lay out the cards either in a row, starting with the root chakra, and then she has a few of the. So just so you know, there are many issues, many things that you can look at with each of the chakras, and she has chosen 1 or 2 of the things you can look at for this reading. Reading the cards in correlation with the chakras provides a spectrum of information. Notice which energy centers may be blocked and which may be supported. Use the mantras to help clear any blocked energy. I know that I made mention of the crystal ball, which actually is a full moon, I believe, in the Empress card. And I just decided to look at the other moons that appear in the deck. I wanted to check to see if all of the queens had a moon above them, and they don't. So just the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands have a moon above them. And for some reason in the Two of Swords, I was hoping that she would have enough stages of the moon that you could use these cards for timings. So the Queen of Swords, she has a waxing crescent And then for the Two of Swords, she has a waning crescent. And then we have the full moon here and a waxing gibbous. So there's not really enough stages of the moon to use these for timings, but that would have been really sweet if she included that and had all of the moon stages on different cards. That would have been awesome. And then on the moon, it looks like we have an eclipse. So yeah. And then just if you're interested, the sun appears, of course, on the Sun card, and then we have the Sun on the Emperor and the Chariot, if you're looking for more symbols to work with. Here is the original PDF, and I do want to apologize to Teresa and to my viewers also. There is some information that was included in this original PDF, which I obviously missed, because I think I said it was not included and it would have been nice to have it and not to wait for the revision of the new guidebook, but it indeed was here. So we do not have the reason for the Pussy Willows. So that's one thing that is new to the guidebook. So that's nice that she added that. This is quite marked up. I was for doing the preparation for my first video. And there's no explanation of why so for example, for the swords, which are air, and we go to the court cards, there's no comment as to why she chose the cats for the court cards. Going here to the Page of Swords. Although the Page of Swords has a useful glow, she is a force to be reckoned with. She is adorned with fresh herbs. She carries a sword that adds protection and cuts through the dishonesty without a second thought. It is time to face a problem head on. So in the early guidebook, there's no discussion of why she chose the animals. However, those Egyptian symbols and some of the other animal choices in the majors are addressed in the original guidebook. For example, when we go to the Hierophant and the question of the deer, she does indeed say, this is the same text that is in the new, so she has not fleshed out any explanation for why the deer is a suitable animal for the Hierophant, other than that she is confident, relaxed, and ready for whatever comes her way. The the Egyptian symbols are mentioned in this original PDF. So when we go to the Wheel of Fortune, she does mention this is Anubis's head. Okay, so this was here, and she does mention for the moon that it is Khonsu. So yeah, that was my mistake. Another thing that is included in this PDF that's not included in the new book, she has several quotes here, and I guess because she didn't obtain permission to have them here, they're not included in the new. But for example, there's a really nice quote for the Hermit, which is, "Real silence is the cessation of talking with both the mouth and the mind." And you'll find throughout this PDF there are quite a few quotes, but unfortunately those didn't make it to the final version. She does have credits here, a little bibliography, and this is not included in the new guidebook. And then the gratitude section, I'm assuming that somehow is in the new guidebook. So there you have it. That concludes my second my second video of the White Sage Tarot. Obviously, I feel it deserves more attention than it's been getting. I wish the guidebook did have a little more information. I'm super pleased with the new version of the cards, the smaller version, the colors, the reduced size of the border, the brighter ink color choice for the names on the cards. That all works really well. So thank you for being here again today. Stay well, my friends. Namaste.